Have you ever wanted to be an actress but you have absolutely no idea how to start and you have zero connections to anybody in the industry or Hollywood itself? You've come to the right place. Hi my peoples. Okay, we are about to break it all down. I am going to break it all down for you on how I started my acting career. No one asked for this. Nobody asked for this. Okay, I don't gatekeep. I literally had no help at all starting my acting career, which I started almost 4 years ago. I've always known I wanted to be an actor from a very young age. I've known since I was like 5-6 years old I wanted to do that. Thought I would grow out of that phase. Never did. Here I am, 24, still very much want to do that for the rest of my life. You're probably wondering, okay Pamela, if you knew from a young age that you wanted to be an actor, why have you never pursued it? Well, I come from very traditional parents, traditional families, immigrant families, if we're gonna be very technical. They don't believe in that type of stuff. But it's not even just that, because my parents were the type that generally they would have put me into that if I told them sooner that I wanted to do that. I did ballet, I did violin, I did modeling, and they took the money that they had, the very little money that they had, and helped me pursue whatever fantasy I had at that moment. So it's not like I couldn't have gone to them. I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, I never started until I was about 21. 24 now. No, I have no connections to anybody in the industry. I don't even know how I started, to be honest. Like, I'm very proud of myself. There was nobody helping me who could contact me with this person who no, I had none of that. We started from scratch. Again, no one asked for this video, but if I could help at least one person, I will be more than happy. The first thing I did when I first realized, okay, I want to be an actor, honestly, the first thing I did was hop on that Google. I hopped on that Google and I kind of like looked into what really goes into being an actor and how to put yourself out there. First thing they said was get headshots. I'm so sorry if you hear stuff, it's not me, it's my neighbors, it's not me, okay? You need headshots. That is what they're going to be looking for when you audition for anything or you apply to a casting call. That's literally what they look for. They need to see you. They need to see how you look like and see if that's what they envision for that role, you know? Also, disclaimer, I am not a professional. This is just things that I've done. I am learning just as you are learning, okay? I've only been doing this for 3 years on my own, but I'm simply just making this video to kind of help anybody who really just wants to start, you know? So, headshots. Literally what I did. I used my old modeling headshots that literally I don't even look like, well, I kind of do still look the same. This was me like 16 years old. I think I was like 16. I used that first because at the time I was like, oh my god, like how am I gonna get the money to get headshots? Like stressing out so bad. As time went on, I realized, okay, like sometimes just to start, you can use your phone. You literally can just use your phone to take some pictures. And then as time goes on and you save a little money, you can go and get them like professionally done. Speaking of headshots, I really do need new headshots now that I'm thinking about it. The key with headshots is you really want to make sure you are updating and keeping up with it. The minute you change something about your appearance, get new headshots. Second thing, this is what I did and still do to this day. I use backstage.com. If you're not familiar with Backstage, they're a casting call site for honestly a lot of things. It's not just acting. I think there's modeling on there, a lot of like hosting work, like a lot of stuff. There's theater, there's so many good things on there. You do need to have a membership for it. When I first started, I paid $100 a year. That price went up a little. I think last time I checked, I think it was $199 a year, which isn't like horrible for what it can do for you. I view it as like an investment, right? There's also other acting websites. I haven't used anything else. I've just been on Backstage. Sometimes I also use Boston Casting, but I haven't really booked too many things. I haven't booked anything with them. So I did get a really good audition though, so I still have my subscription with them. If you want, I could make a tiny little video that kind of goes into details of how Backstage works, but it's pretty straightforward. Like you won't need much. Okay, the third thing, my favorite thing, is you need to audition. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Once you get the membership with Backstage, you have to set up your profile, right? So you need to have your headshots, whatever headshot you have at the moment. You can put in your information, your height, you know, the basic little things. Now, one thing that I've realized that sometimes you're going to submit yourself to a casting call and then they will get back to you if they want you to audition for it. Sometimes you won't hear back at all, but that is the big thing about this industry. It's so iffy. One thing I did to make sure, especially since like we are fresh, we haven't done anything to even put on our profile, the number one thing I did, and I guarantee you is the greatest help, is to do monologues. Listen, I'm not a big monologue girl. I don't like monologues. I don't like to yap like that too long. I prefer dialogue than having to do a whole monologue. Record some monologues, especially since you don't have much to put on your profile except for like your headshot. Having at least like a video of you doing a monologue, whether it's a like dramatic one, comedy, whatever you want to dabble into, just have a monologue on there, or 2 or 3, as many as you like, to be honest. I prefer quality over quantity, but do what you gotta do. Okay, so once you have the headshot, you put in your information, and you have a monologue, you're basically all ready to go and submit yourself. One thing I really love about Backstage is that you can, this is not sponsored by the way, I mean no one's sponsoring my little ass, but like this is not sponsored. You can really filter everything. Like if you don't like to do nudity, you don't have to. You can filter out whatever casting call has nudity. If you want to do a specific age or comedy or whatever, are you in Boston, are you in LA, whatever, it literally lets you filter it. That just saves you so much time. I love that little feature that they have. One thing I did is I applied to a lot of non-paid films. I know what you're thinking, but we want to make money. Trust me, baby girl, you will. It all just takes time to really just get that like on-set experience, being in front of the camera. Well, that's where we're gonna have to start. We're gonna have to start small, and that's okay. That's okay. So yes, I auditioned for a lot of non-paid films, short films, student films, whatever you want to call it. It's more of just like trying to get yourself comfortable. Okay, still sticking on the topic of applying to films, I want to explain something that I do. Unfortunately, you can't trust people out there. Okay, unfortunately, people are crazy, and there are certain people out there that you probably wouldn't even take the risk of trying to audition for their film or whatever. So one thing I do is on the casting call, like to make sure that there's at least a production. This is like, I wouldn't say this really goes into short films, student films, but it is something you can look out for if you're like me, who's anxious and is scared to somehow be around bad people, whatever. It's just a precaution, right? So here's the casting call, and I like to just make sure that there's like a production under the name of whatever the film is. Sometimes it's untitled. It literally would just say untitled. Sometimes there's not, and that's still okay. There's other options, but copy that, type it into Google, see whatever comes up, and 9 times out of 10 they have a website and you can kind of see the work that they've done and see if that's for you. But it's just something to just be mindful of. Sometimes if they don't have that, you can kind of look up the director's name, or sometimes they'll have the producer's name, or any name you'll find there you can look up and just kind of see. That's what I do. Sometimes also if you scroll all the way to the bottom, they will just have their website there, but a lot of times they don't. That's just some things that I do. So once you submit it, congrats, you get an audition. Self-tapes. I've personally never did an audition in person, so I have absolutely no idea how that process goes. To be honest, the idea of it, excuse me, just un poquito. It's not saying that I stay away from it. I generally just haven't had any auditions that require me to do it in person. I've only done self-tapes. 9 times out of 10, they are going to give you the material you'll need. They literally are going to be like, hey, here's a little script, read it, film it, boom. Sometimes they won't, but that is what monologues are for, right? But when they do give you a script, or even whatever you're about to film, there's a thing called a slate. A slate is where you just say, hi, my name is pamelaaavie, I am 24 years old, I am based in Boston, and I'm auditioning for the role of so-and-so, you know? That's literally a slate. Now, sometimes they will tell you to say specific things in the slate, other times you literally just do that. Now, there's also a thing called non-union and union. That just means if you're, and somebody can Google this because I'm just going off what I know. This is a very bad definition of what that means. But non-union means you're just not associated with any like acting company, agent, whatever you want to call it. Union means you are. So me, I am non-union. I haven't applied to any yet. Guys, hold on, I'm working on it. So I would say, hi, my name is pamelaaavie. I am 24 years old. I'm based in Boston, Massachusetts. I am non-union and I'm auditioning for the role of Elizabeth. Literally, that would be my slate. So that's something that as time goes on, you will just have it like so memorized where you're just like, boom. All right, I'm trying to explain this as best as I can, like in the exact order that I did things. Honestly, like the biggest thing I'm gonna tell you, as time goes on, you're going to just kind of take in all the info that you need and do things the way that best suit you. I know every actor is different. I know some actors that memorize scripts differently, or they do this differently, and I do it completely the opposite. Like, it's, you literally literally gonna learn things that are just best for you, and that's like totally fine. I say this all the time, and like I try to tell people, like, I don't mean to like be super bitchy, but I prefer quality over quantity. I don't want to fill my resume with a million films because that's great, but me, I'd rather have like 5 films that I'm super proud of, great stuff, than have like 10 that are kind of shitty. But that's just me. Don't kill me now. That's just my opinion. But yeah, do not feel bad for being picky, because I for sure am one of the pickiest actors. I say that so much, and I don't mean to be picky. I just see it as like, okay, this is the foundation, this is the start of my acting career, or do I really want to put myself out there so early like this? It's such a, I don't know how to explain it without it sounding so bitchy. Like, I'm grateful for anything and everything, but it's okay to say no, you know, like it's okay to pass certain projects that you just don't feel like it fits you. That is totally fine. Alrighty, now that you've put yourself out there for however long it takes, you will eventually, and I say that very eventually, will have footage that you can make an acting reel. Now, you're asking me, Pamela, well, how do I get this footage? It's gonna take time. It's gonna take time. Let me tell you something. I've been doing this for 3 years so far. There's still a few projects out there that are not out, and I do not have any footage of that. And it's very heartbreaking sometimes, especially because there's this one project I did that I'm just so excited to see how it turned out, and I literally don't have a glimpse of how it looks. So I can't add it to my reel, which sucks. But that's another thing. You need to be patient. Patient is key. Not only is just like the rejection such a big thing that you have to quickly grasp, but patience. Because I know working so hard on a project, you like can't wait to see it all come together, but oh darling, it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time. The film that I did that I really can't wait to see, it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since I've done it, and I haven't got anything. So it's okay. A lot of the time, the director or whoever will send you like some footage. Sometimes you would have to ask them. Honestly, if you just say like, hey, I would like some footage for my acting reel, they will give it to you, but some directors are a little iffy, so I don't know. But yes, you will be making an acting reel. That is literally just a compilation of things that you've done. Personally, what I like to do for my acting reel, I kind of put what my best scenes. One thing I'm also going to say about an acting reel, and any actors out there, please just correct me if I'm wrong, quality over quantity is also another thing that kind of goes into an acting reel. Try to not put so much. I know I heard that like an acting reel should probably just be like 2-3 minutes, and they're not lying. Not even, I think like 2 minutes. And I know the more you do it, the more footage you get, you're gonna want to like throw everything like, yes, I've done all that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't get a little too excited. In my opinion, try to find really good scenes that, yes, of course you're proud of, but show different aspects of your talent, basically. That's another thing I forgot to say. Your headshots. Try, when you can finally get like professional headshots, try to do different aesthetics. Now, again, I could be so wrong on this, but headshots for like a drama series, comedy, or whatever are gonna look a little different. Like, for example, this is a very dramatic headshot of me, very serious. I would probably send this with a like serious role, right? And then you have more softer headshots where I would probably send this if I was doing like a love story, you know what I mean? That's another thing. Another thing that honestly you could probably start this way before you even make a profile on Backstage or whatever casting website you want to use. You can take acting classes. I personally haven't because my anxiety is at a 10, and I just, you know, I kind of hate that narrative of like, oh, well, you can't be a good actor if you don't take acting class. I don't think that necessarily is true. Like, and I hate that being pushed onto people, because it's like, okay, well, a lot of people can't handle shit like that, and like that is okay. Me personally, I think I took one theater class, not realizing it was for a theater class. I'm not a theater girl, I'm a film girl. I didn't like it. I don't know, just not for me. But you can do that. You can really just look up acting classes or acting studios around you. I'm pretty sure you'll find some. Remember that everyone is at their own pace. This career is, how do I even describe this? There are some people who, fortunately for them, they just start out and book a huge role and their life changes forever. And then you have other people who work forever and maybe 10 years down the line book a role that makes them blow up. Everyone's in their own path. Try to not compare yourself to that person and be like, that's not fair. care that they did that and they can do this and that. Don't think like that. Trust me, it's gonna take time, because in the beginning I was like, well, why come she gets to and I can't? I know it's like easier said than done, but really just try to have a good mindset going into this career, because there's a lot of moments where you feel like I can't do this, because you're watching everybody else succeed in their own ways, and it's like, well, when is it my turn? Trust me, I still ask myself that every day. It's okay. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Please don't give up. Also, don't be hard on yourself. You are literally learning. You are learning. As a beginner, I view this whole thing as a snowball. I tell people this. I'm like, honestly, I view acting as like a snowball, because when you start out, you're like, okay, you're at the top of the hill. And then like you keep booking things and meeting new people and recognizing names, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. That's like the best way to describe it. And I can give you an example. I worked on this one student film about 2 years ago. It was a great experience. And then I worked on another project. When I got to meet everybody in person, somebody walked up to me and was like, oh my god, aren't you Pamela? You worked on this project with this director. I'm friends with her. And I was like, oh my goodness, oh my god, hi. It's like that. You meet people, and the people you meet know other people, and it's great. It really is a snowball. I feel like I've already said this, but there is a lot more downs than there are ups. Unfortunately, there is, and that just goes with the whole like being able to handle rejection pretty well. That is what happens. I'm gonna tell you right now, and I probably could even go on backstage and confirm this for you. Yes, I know I'm a very picky actor. That's probably why these numbers are the way that they are. But I've applied to about like 300 roles, heard back from at least like 40, gotten self-tapes 20, gotten callbacks 15, actually booked something and filmed it completely like 6, 7. That's because I'm picky. It would probably be a way bigger number for other people. And guess what? That's okay. I had a sidekick tell me that that's who I am, and I should be proud of it, and for me to always do roles that are meaningful to me. I will always stand by that. I don't care what anybody says. The minute she told me that, I was like, I knew it. I knew it. Sometimes I feel so bad that I'm so picky. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be picky. I should be just grateful. No, Pamela, we are doing everything just right. I'm very grateful for every project I've done. As little as it is or how big it is, I am grateful for everything, and I love everything that I have worked on. Something I want you to remember, and this is a big one. Just because you didn't book the role does not mean you're a bad actor. No. You just simply wasn't what they were looking for. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's something I learned the hard way. That took me a really long time to learn, to sink in. Doesn't mean you're a bad actor. It literally just means that you just weren't what they were picturing for that character, and that's okay. That's okay. There's more things out there, you know? Alrighty, once you've gathered all of that and you've been working hard, now this is a step that I have yet to take, but I'm encouraging you to take. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I know. You'll be able to sign to agent, a company, whatever. You'll be booked and busy. I mean, not guaranteed that they're gonna like book you like that, but like it's a great start. On top of the start that we're doing right here, it's a great start. Keep updating your profile. Like for me, for my acting profile, I also have like a little resume that has projects I worked on, the director's name, what character I was, etc. I would show it, but it looks absolutely horrible. I need to update it and make it look all professional and fancy. So I'm pretty sure you can find like a template that will help you. We're getting close to the end. I feel like I've yapped enough. I feel like I've pretty much said everything I had to say. Yeah, the last thing I wrote here is just learn from others, but we already talked about that. So yeah. I don't know if anybody's listened to Wildflower by Billie Eilish, but specifically the little like live version, whatever that she sung. That like ending part is like stuck in my head, and I keep singing it all freaking day. It's so beautiful though. They go like, you say, and then like they overlap each other. It just scratches my brain in the right way. It's so good. It's so good. You say no one knows you so well, but every time you touch me, I just wonder how she felt. Valentine's Day, crying in the hotel. Didn't mean to hurt me, so I kept it to myself. Anywho, I think that wraps everything up. I don't think I've missed anything. If I did, then future Pamela would write it somewhere on the screen and we will discuss. that is everything I did. That is how I started my literal acting career. It's nothing crazy, nothing fancy. Doing this by myself with no connections is hard. I'm not gonna lie to you and say it's not. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I don't have days where I want to give up. I definitely want to give up sometimes, but there's no backup plan. Okay, this is my dream. Like, this has been my dream, and let me tell you something. I am my biggest fan. I'm my biggest fucking fan. I don't think anybody believes in me the way that I believe. I mean, that's how it should be. You should believe in yourself more than anybody believes in you, but it's like, you don't get it. Like, I know for a Fendi fact that I'm gonna do great in my acting career, but it's hard. You have to do it alone, and unfortunately I can't just find a role that's gonna automatically get me on Netflix, you know, like, that's not how it works. We just have to work 10 times harder than the average, you know, and that's okay. That's okay, because I believe in me, and I believe in you, and you believe in you. Shit, what do we have to do? Nothing, because we're doing it. I really just wanted to make this video to inspire anybody, to tell you that you got this. If I could do it, you could do it. You could do it, I could do it, period. You know, I would rather you try, you know, even if you end up being like, this is not for me, that is fine. I'd rather you try and say that you tried than go years and years wondering, what if, you know? Just know that I'm rooting for you. If you have any questions about anything, if I forgot something, please just let me know. Ask me anything, I will answer. And yeah, I love you. I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for being here. Also, Stream Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter. Thank you.